Hey guys, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout for Hip Kit Club. Today is product focus. I'm using the June kits full of the beautiful Pink Fresh Studio Let's Stay Home, and my focus today is on sequins, and I'm going to be making 3 tiny shaker pockets using this beautiful cut file. Actually I've used 2 cut files and I forgot to put the other one at the beginning of the video, but the first one is the one that says Staying Home and it has a little house on it, so I've detached it from the word staying and just used the house icon. So I've cut it really big, well-ish, in one colour of cardstock. Then I have used, I've cut it in 3 different sizes basically, so I've got one small one, one medium sized one and one large one. So I've cut them from 3 different patterns. I've used a pink, a yellow and a kind of a yellow and white pattern, so it just reads as a lighter yellow, and I have just grabbed a piece of acetate from my stash and I have covered the back part of the houses with acetate, so I have like a front on my pocket. And at this point I really want to stitch around the inside of those little shakers as well. I'm going to put sequins behind them, but right now I'm just going to pierce holes through the acetate and add some stitching in the same colours. So the yellow will have yellow stitching, the yellow and white will have kind of a goldy coloured stitching, and the pink one will have pink stitching. So I've just taken a paper piercing tool and mat and I've pierced my holes around the edges, and I'm just getting some threads now and I will back stitch through them. So I'm going to keep my threads chunky. I'm using 6 strands of thread to stitch around the back there. So I start off at the back, but I come through to the front obviously. It's slightly weird because it's acetate, so you can see the back as well at the same time. So on some of my stitches I have 2, whereas I have like 1 on the front and then I have to go over it again to get up to the next stitch. So therefore I have like a double layer of stitches effectively, and it's odd because you can see it, but it doesn't look strange. Only when you're actually stitching it would you notice it, yeah, anyway, it was an interesting experience. I've never stitched on acetate before, I don't think, so I'm using it in a slightly different way than I would normally do. So yeah, you can see that I'm just working on the stitching there, and hopefully I will shut off the camera in a minute and magically they will all be complete, especially as I seem to have gone off screen to do my stitching. Maybe I've leaned back in my chair or something and forgotten that I've still got the camera running, but yeah, so yeah, I really love stitching. It's one of my favourite things to do on layouts. I stopped doing it for a long time because it takes a long time, and there were all these amazing stitch layouts around and I was like, I'm never going to stitch that much on a layout, but I shouldn't let that put me off because I love a small amount of stitching. To me, it doesn't have to be epic to be beautiful, so a small amount of hand stitching is definitely worthwhile and really lovely, and just adds an extra element to your layout. Oh, here we go, I have fast forwarded, thank goodness, and all 3 of those are now stitched, and now what I'm doing is I've turned them over so they're back facing up, and I've put foam pads around the outside edges of all of the hearts, and now I'm filling the middles with sequins. Now the secret to using making a shaker pocket like this is that when you fill your when you do your pocket around the outside with foam pads, you have to make sure that there are no gaps in between your foam pads, otherwise your sequins will escape. This is less so when you have bigger sequins like I'm using today, but if you have glitter, for example, there must not be a single gap because the glitter will escape. But the sequins probably won't. So I have got yellow sequins in the yellow heart, I have got orange sequins in the goldy coloured heart because there weren't any gold sequins. I have got pink sequins in the pink heart. So I have my 3 cute little shaker pockets, each with stitching on my layout there, looking very cute. I love the way they look, they are super cute. Unfortunately there's a bit of glare on my camera so you can't see the sequins that well, but you'll be able to see them in the close-up shots at the end. So when I was cutting these pieces on the silhouette, I had the middle pieces of the houses too. So the hearts that I've cut out of the middle, I had those pieces still that I could use. So of course I didn't want to waste them. So I have used them on this layout. And they also had the bits, like the starburst rays coming from either side as well. Now I managed to lose a few, so I haven't used them all on my layout, but I did manage to lose some, unfortunately. The word home is from another cut file. I'm not sure which cut file it is actually. I'd forgotten that I'd used it when I did my preparation for this video. So I will list that one below in the comments. I'm not sure if it's from May or June, or if it's a subscriber cut file or a freebie. The house one, the staying home, is a freebie, and it's from the May download, so you can find it in May downloads. So yeah, but anyway, home is just an extra one, and I really loved the style. It has like a Marquee Lights effect font, so it has little holes all over the word, and I just cut that out of the pink cardstock that was in the cardstock kit this month. It went really nicely with the colours I've used on this layout. It's a really soft layout, and I've cut it from that plain solid cardstock, just in the pink. And my title is going to be, as you can see, Home Improvements, because that was the day that we were painting our epic amount of fencing. Didn't know how much fencing we'd got until I started painting it, and it took days and days and days and days. Anyway, it looks really good now. I'm very pleased I did it, but it was a big old job. This is I do all the DIY and the maintenance in our house. My husband just sat and watched most of the day. But he did go out to a coffee shop and buy me a proper coffee and a donut, I think, or something yummy. I'll let him off. We all have us different strengths, right? His is not practical in any way, shape or form. He goes to work and he's very good at that, and he can stick with that. I'll do everything else. The photo is just going to sit in the middle of those houses because they are backed with white cardstock. I can tuck the photo underneath the shaker pocket on the yellow house, and you can't see through it. You can't see my photo through the window, so that's good. The word improvements I've added using the really lovely, cute little tiny alphabet stickers from Pink Fresh Studio, Let's Stay Home. They're kind of rainbow colours, so they have lots of different colours, but I've picked out the colours I've used in this layout. So I've gone for, they didn't quite have orange, but it's like a orangey pink, a pink and yellow, and I've tried to keep it in sections, but I was limited because of which letters I had in which colours. So I've got IM in the orangey colour, the PRO in the pink, and then I've got VE in the orangey pink, and then I've got MENTS, MENTS, in the yellow. I nearly said MENTS because I do that with my children. Honestly, homeschool, I'm so over it. Right, at this point I am now just starting to outline my houses. I did it on the hearts. I just used a grey fine liner pen. It's not black. I thought black would be too harsh, but I felt those hearts needed a bit of an outline. So I used the grey, and I really liked the way it looked. So I decided to be brave and go around the houses. Now the reason I had to be brave was because my houses are raised up on foam pads. So I have different levels, and I have the possibility of really going wrong and like kind of going down a hill effectively and making a line in the wrong place. So I had to be quite brave and just not press too hard, but it was definitely worth it. The yellow house looks great outlined, and I'm going to go ahead and do the pink one and the yellow one. Sorry, the goldy one looks great. I'm going to go ahead and do the other two as well. I'm just getting my other little hearts stuck in place. That little heart that I've got there has come from the middle of the word home. Now I had to cut my word home several times because my silhouette machine was just having a hissy fit and it just wouldn't do it. So the first time it cut not all the way through. The second time it barely cut at all, so I had to turn it all off and turn it on again, and finally it cut right. So I had 3 hearts. Now they didn't all cut through perfectly, but they were good enough that I could kind of pull them out, and then they're a bit fluffy on the edges, so I just trimmed around them slightly. So I had 3 hearts to use from that cut file. So I've just stuck those on as embellishments too. This whole layout I had to keep fairly simple because I had so much busyness going on with the 3 big houses and the title and the photo. I had quite a lot going on, so I didn't put too many more embellishments on this. I've just stuck with the hearts, and then I do add a few more bits here and there, but there really isn't very much. It's not embellished loads in my usual style, but that's just because it had so much going on already that I didn't want to bring in too many more things. Plus, because I was trying to stick to these colours, I was also slightly limited. Lots of the ephemera has got multiple colours on, of course, but because I wanted to only have pink on the pink area and yellow on the yellow area, I was stuck with embellishments that only had 1 colour on them rather than 2 or 3. So I was a little bit limited there, but as I say, I'm happy with how it looks. Because I was trying to keep things minimal anyway. Okay, so I'm just flirting with the idea of adding that tag behind the photo. It's annoying me because it has a green hole and that doesn't go with the rest of my colours. So I'm just kind of thinking about what I'm going to do with that. In the end, I oust it and decide no, and go for a white tag with a yellow topper instead. I've just pulled out, I've got a vellum heart over on the right. I've got that little cute rainbow kind of ticket thing, but that doesn't work because I couldn't fit it in really. So here, underneath the word home, I'm adding a vase of flowers, because vases of flowers go really well with houses, right? So I figured it went. It's the right colours, although it does have some green, and also it has yellow vase, which would normally have to go in the yellow section, and the pinky flowers would have to go on the pink section, but I can't separate the flowers from the vase, so they're just going to have to stay there. Anyway, it worked out fine, and it does look good. I'm happy with it. And then on the left I've got 2 rainbows, a pink one and a red and pink one, so that one works okay. And I have put a little bow there as well, but that actually gets ousted too, because it was just a bit too big and didn't fit right with the word home improvements. So over on the right hand side, I'm just adding my vellum heart. I've just done an outline around that in my grey pen as well. I've got 2 little tabs, one of which on the front says let's stay home. I've got this yellow rainbow that I've pulled out, and I have a little ticket that says family, and I'm going to put a little flower underneath these tabs on the right hand side too. You can see at the top that I've also got a vellum cloud that's in yellow, and that is from the Vellum Die Cuts exclusive Hip Kit pack as well. So lots of lovely exclusives this month, really pretty and wonderful to work with. It's lovely to have something a bit different that not everyone else has got. So yeah, lovely. That's one of my favourite things about Hip Kit Club, is that they have these exclusive products, not every month. Sometimes there's maybe 1 or 2 sheets of paper, other times we have like a whole kit full of just exclusive stuff, which is so nice. I really love those months, and I love all of the exclusives. Every time we have them, they're always fabulous. I think it's Kim who designs them, so she does a fantastic job, so yeah, well done Kim. Okay, so that bow, it did end up on my layout. It ended up on the top of the house. So yeah, what else would you need on the front of your house but a great big bow? I think that is a great thing to have. So I actually might go and put one on my house. What do you think? My neighbours might not be too impressed. They'll probably think I've gone mad. Yeah, just adding in a few florals now to the left hand side. As I say, I was limited on what I had available to me in the colours, so I just have 2 really small sprays of flowers there, and I've just put a yellow flower over on the right hand side as well, and I'm pretty much done now. I was just thinking about where I can put my journaling. So I didn't really have anywhere to put it that would not detract from the overall look of the design. So I decided to write around the tops of the houses. So it's a bit of a crazy way of journaling, but actually I quite like it. I quite like it because it gives me a bit of an outline around this section too. It reads, a few weeks spent making over our fence, which was a bit of a mess. We did some repairs, cleaned it with the pressure washer, and then painted it charcoal grey. It almost looks like new. Okay, so that is me done. I really hope you enjoyed my little tiny shakers. They're so cute, look at them there. And don't forget that if you are a Hip Kit Club subscriber, you receive the main kit at a reduced price, a 15% discount on all add-on kits, and you get access to those fabulous exclusive subscriber cut files. So lots of reasons to subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland for Hip Kit Club.